Interesting. Hey, welcome back to my channel. No, that was fake. Hey, welcome back to my channel. No. Hey, welcome back to my channel. Hi, welcome back to Tehran's Talk. And look, if you don't have no tea, then why are you talking in the first place? Am I wrong? I know you're probably wondering why I haven't been here in a long time. Tehran, where have you been? What's going on? What's the answer? What's the question? Where's the video? I thought you were gonna react to this. I thought you were gonna do this. I thought you were gonna do that. I thought I was gonna do the same thing too. But guess what? Senior year got involved and the summer happened and a lot has happened in that time frame. So shall we get started? Cause I'm ready to spill the tea. One, the reason I really didn't do my YouTube channel like that is because when I did start it, it was in the middle of a lot of things that were going on in my life, personally, mentally, physically. Like, it was just a lot. It was just a lot. I was trying to really just figure out a lot of stuff that was going on. I was cursed. Didn't want to get demonetized. Got to make that money. But anyway, no, I just was really busy, you know what I mean? And, I just couldn't do it. And then on top of that, I was going to start it, I think I was going to start it over this senior year, but I just had so much going on that, and I was trying to focus on graduating, that I just had to, you know, cancel something out to be able to graduate, and YouTube was one of them. So what's more important? Was YouTube going to give me that diploma? I mean, it could make me a little bit of money, but I still want a diploma. Secondly is, I just, you know, I need a break. I need a refresher. I only did like 3 videos, I think, or 2 videos. I need like a refresher. I needed to get my life together. What you didn't know is that my birthday passed. I'm 20 now. Happy birthday. Thank you. But, no, my birthday passed and I just turned 20. And that's like to me, it's a weird age because it's the middle of, you know, you just got out your teens, but you're also like grown. Like, you're grown. You're not 21, but you're grown. You know what I mean? Like, but then you just got out the teenager stage, like, but you know, and you're like maturing, you're figuring out a lot of stuff and trying to figure out what you want to do. And yes, I did graduate 20 because of certain things and certain situations that happened in my high school experience and in my high school life. But that's over with. And guess what? I still got my diploma. So, at the haters out there that didn't believe in me. But anyway, well, that's basically been a life update. I mean, I just been like, you know, working. I did a show over this summer, and it was called Crazy for You. If you didn't know, if you haven't ever watched my first video, like, I love musicals. Musicals are my life, because, you know, I'm going to be on Broadway. See you there in a few years. Just give me some time. But yeah, but that's one of the other reasons. And now it's on to the story time. Hey you guys, before we start this story time, I would really like to say that I tried to put as much information as I can in this video, but I didn't want this video to take forever, so I really tried to cut it short and put like a little bit of key points in it, and I hope you understand. Also, I got interrupted so much while recording this video. People called me, people walked in the room while I was recording, people came to my door, so I had to really like cut it and edit as best as possible so y'all be able to understand the situation. Alright, enjoy! Alright, so now it's time for the story time. Now the story time is going to be pretty crazy and pretty, like, a little bit emotional for me, but not that much emotional, but it is pretty emotional, I think. I don't know. It depends on how deep and I get into it. I'm just going to get into the story time. This story time is about college, and, like, this is for my family and friends, too, but it's also for my fans and viewers that would like to know my life update, because a lot of people kept asking, when am I going to post another video? It's been, like, a year. I think. Yeah. But, no, like, okay, so this story time is about this college that I was supposed to attend, basically today. Moving day was today. But guess what? It didn't happen. So, let's just talk about this now, shall we? First things first. If you know me, I went through a lot during high school. And I'm not afraid to say this because it's nothing to hide, and I'll say it in the future anyway. I say it to anybody, and everybody mostly knows around me. But I got held back my 12th grade year, right? So I got held back my 12th grade year and everything, and you know, everything was, you know, it happened. I came back, I graduated, I had an amazing time. I got to redo my 12th grade year because my other one was crazy and just horrible. But you know, this time it's gonna be great. And it did, and I graduated with like I brought my GPA back up. Like I got good grades that year because of a certain situation that changed. But anyway, that year that I did not graduate, I took the SAT because I did not know that I was graduating. I didn't know if I was going to go to school, but I just took it just to take it. I just took it just to take it. So I know what score that I would get, or like try to at least, just in case, like I apply to school real quick at the last minute with, and send my SAT scores. But so this time, we come back around and come to find out I didn't graduate, so I'm gonna be here again. So I took the SAT test. And it was. I know my score was decent. It was a decent score. It really was. It really was. I won't take that away, but it was a decent score, and I came around this year and everything was going really great for me. Like, it was just really great. And I was like, I'm going to go to college. Like, I'm going to actually, I want to go to college for musical theater. Like, this is something I want to do for the rest of my life. Like, it was just a lot of stuff changed, like a very life-changing experience, and like a lot of self, like I was pushing myself and being more positive, better friends, cut people out of my life. Like, it just felt so much better. So like, everything was changing. Like, my gears were moving in my head. Like, I was working. Like, I've been thinking about doing this for like a while, like going back on my YouTube, but I just had to like, take a step at a time to be able to understand what I needed to do and what I needed to accomplish before I start going off into other areas and adventures and stuff like that. But no, but so now it comes back to this year. So I wanted to go to Columbus State University, which I thought it was the only college that would probably accept me. And I know I'm talented, and that's not me sounding in a cocky way, because I know somebody's gonna be, oh my god, why would you say that? Like, I'm not gloating about it, but like, I know that I'm talented. I know I have a voice. Of course, I always need work, because everybody always needs work, no matter how good you are. Point blank, period. Facts of the day. But anyway, but no, I just felt like I needed to apply for Columbus, and Columbus would be the only school for me. And I thought it was a great school. I have friends that go there. I have teachers that graduated from there. I have mentors that graduated from there. They have a great program. They have great shows. Like, they have great classes. And I just felt like and it's a great environment. Like, it's not just about the people. It's just like, how are you gonna feel there? And I felt so like welcoming. And I've been there a couple times because I go to Georgia Thespian Conference, and I felt great. So what did I do? I applied there. So after that, I applied there, and on the website for Columbus State, it said you needed a number, like a certain, every school you need like to have a certain score to be able to get in, like one of the requirements for the SAT. So of course, when I looked at it, it was like if you took your test prior to spring 2016, which I did, which was like the year before, then this is what you're supposed to make to be able to apply there. And I was just like, I was fine with it. I was just like, oh, that's great. All right, so I can apply. So I apply and send stuff in, and like I wait, and like I have to wait and stuff. Like, I'm so nervous and everything. And I applied like in November-ish of my senior year. Well, I'll consider my senior year. My bad. Okay, so I'm back because my grandmother had interrupted me, and she didn't know I was doing the video. Anyway, so but no, I applied November-ish and everything. So, and I waited for a while. I was very nervous and stuff like that. I called them because I didn't get an answer. Like, 2 weeks is supposed to pass by, and you're supposed to get your letter or acceptance, or the letter saying you got in or not. So come to find out that I was missing a couple documents that I had all my documents in, but I needed they were saying my SAT scores were missing. But I was like, that's weird, because I sent it in, and they said no, like you didn't meet the requirements. I was, what are you talking about on the website? And I looked at my scores before I sent it in. I would have known. And she was like, no, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just like, okay, so what I do? She's like, well, you're 1 point off, like, for your math, because on the math section. Oh, 1.5 points off. So I'm just like, all right, that's fine. Okay, so, like, where did you get this from? She's like, well, they changed the way they do SAT scores now. It used to be like 400, 300s and stuff like that. Like, you made a 420, a 560, a 612, something like that, like you're reading our math portion. But this time they converted it to like 22s and 21s and stuff like that. And since they converted it, they changed it, and I didn't see that on the website. So now they changed it, and now I was 1.5 points away from meeting the requirement for the math portion. So I'm sitting there and I'm just like, okay, so what, like, like what should I do? Like, she's like, just take it over again, just do the math portion. I said, okay, so, the next like SAT that I saw that was available wasn't until March 10th, so I just signed it for that and I studied. I studied for a long time. I studied for a long time and I had 3 months. In those 3 months, I also had auditions that I to be able to get into the musical theater program for Columbus. Because when you're a musical theater major, it's not only you get accepted to the program, so you're accepted into the school too. It's accepted into the program and into the school. So for most musical theater schools, some don't, but yeah, and so but I auditioned for I auditioned for it the same month of my SAT, so that's why I scheduled it. So I studied and everything. Months passed. I take the SAT, and it's great. I go to the same high school that I went to last time, which is Salem High School. I took it last time in Salem High School, and I took it again this time. And Salem High School is like a great place. It's like and then like the SAT, like they're very strict there. They have the monitor. They have like the person that watches over the test. Like they sit there in front of us and walk in between the desks. We can't pick up our pencils without doing anything. Can't grab the calculator until she says we're able to. Like it was just it's very strict. It's very like well constructed and well mannered and put together. So, I take it and everything, and then in a few days after drive up to Columbus, and I decide to audition for, I didn't decide, but I auditioned for the school. It was time for my scheduled audition. So I did it, and like, Columbus let me in because, not only because of my talent, because of the story that I had behind me, well, the musical theater program let me in, because of the story that I had behind me. And, when we did a question section, they asked me about my life, and I told them everything, and I told them why musical theater is such a passion, and why it has such like a deep meaning to me, and why it means so much. So, I do it, and next thing you know, I wait. I'm supposed to wait like 2 weeks for the SAT scores to get back, and 2 weeks for my musical theater scores. So my musical theater scores come back, and musical theater scores. The letter comes in, and if you can't see, it's on my Instagram. And I cried about it because I had got accepted into it, and it was such a wonderful thing because nobody knows a lot about me, but I've been through so much stuff and had a lot of no's and everything that it just meant a lot to have this yes and to be able to be like, oh, I'm great, like I can do this, like it's just another motivator, and like it just motivated me. So therefore, that passes by. The SAT, it hasn't came in yet. So I called them and asked them, so what's going on? Honey job. They gonna say I don't know. The SAT College Board. So therefore, I'm over here confused as heck. They're like, you're gonna get an email. I said, okay, I get an email. I get an email. It says your test is under administrative review. Yeah. So I'm really confused. So I Google it, and I want to go look like, what is this? Like, what's going on? So I Google it, and I try to figure out what administrative review is. And when you look at administrative review for the SAT, like I Google what does it mean if the SAT College Board sends you an email saying that your test is under administrative review. Then if you look at it, it literally says, it literally has like all these articles and blogs and everything that have like kids asking what it is, or like stories of kids whose test, like last time they took the test and they had a low score. This time they took the test and they had a higher score, and it jumped up to 200 to 300 points. And from what I was taking and reading from the articles and blogs, are that if you get 200 or 300 points higher, the SAT board kind of questions you and doesn't believe that it's possible for some reason for you to get 200 or 300 points higher from last time. But that's stupid, because if you study, then of course you're gonna get a better score. That's just common sense. So, but I studied a lot, for those last 3 months. Used the book, test online. But time passes by, and like, because they told me to wait. They said it's just a small problem. Like, we can fix it. Just give it some time. We're like, okay. But during that time, I check in from time to time and see, like, did it come in? Is everything okay? Are my scores gonna get released? And they keep telling me to wait, so I wait. It's a week before graduation, and I'm calling. At this point, I'm just getting a script read to me. Like, they're saying the same thing over over and over and over and over again. It's getting so tiring. So then after that, we call and then they're just like they send me another, like they keep sending me emails each time I call saying just wait, give time, blah blah blah. That's basically what the email was saying, like just wait it out. And I'm just like I'm sick and tired of it. So finally we're just like who's in charge of it, like who's has my test right now. Like they're like ETS. It's this other businesses that they're partnered with called ETS, was like Integrity something testing services, and they had my test. I'm like, okay, well, let me talk to them. We can't give you the number. Why can't you give me the number? We just can't. We can't give it to you. Like, what? So we take upon our own self, me and my grandmother, to search on the internet and try to find the number. Mind you, it has took forever. It took my grandma forever to be able to get their number. So she gets their number, of course, right? And when she gets her number, she calls them and finally gets a hold of everything after talking to so many people. And this is lady called Ms. I don't think I should put her name in, but like we're just gonna call her Martha. Miss Martha, she answers and stuff like that, and she's over my case and everything, and they're like, we can't talk to you about it, we can only talk to Tehran about it. So of course my grandma's like, okay, well, can you call him? And she was like, yeah, I'll call him tomorrow. So she calls me tomorrow, the next day before and during first period, and we talked in the hallway. I talked to this lady in the hallway. She's very rude, very disrespectful, and she just so like has an attitude, and I'm like trying to talk to her like, yeah, where's my test? And she's like, she's like, well, you get an email about it. I said, where's my test? Like, I need to be able to know like what's going on, this and that. She was like, you'll get an email about it. I was like, if you have the email right in front of you, why don't you just read it to me and we can talk this out right now? She's like, you'll get an email about it. I was like, I don't argue with this lady. I was like, I just need my stuff. I need to figure out what's going on. So 2 days passed, and she said in 2 days the email would come. So 2 days passed, nothing happens. So graduation happens, I get distracted, I get so busy, and stuff like that. And everything happens, and I still haven't got it. And all of a sudden, I get an email like a week later, and it finally comes in. It's saying that they are checking my test over a situation, and that just give it a while. And so then I'm just like, what? Like, I'm confused, and then I keep reading more, and basically they start saying that they literally say in the email, we're not assuming that you cheated, but we think that you did. Like they're trying to be like very subliminal about it. Like they're not really going straight to the point. They even say in there, we're not accusing you of cheating. So I'm just like really, really confused at this point. Like I don't know what's going on. Like I'm just like, what? Like this is very weird. So everything happened, and I'm just like told my grandmother about it. And my grandmother, me and her talk about it. Like, what are we gonna do? And she's like, we got to get this under control because you didn't cheat. And I was like, exactly. I studied hard for this. And on top of that, they're not even telling me my scores. Like, they wouldn't even tell me what I got. Like, she would not budge. So anyway, she's just like, I get an email and it gives me like options like cancel your test. Either do the test over with a special person in the room and retake it, but you have to make 6 points within the score that you had originally, which is a test that I redid, but I'll have to get 6 points like within the original score. That's hard. The probability of that is beyond crazy. So I'm sitting here like, this can't be possible, like. And so then after that, it's like, or it's either another option where basically like you explain and like trying to bargain with them, like try to tell them everything that went on in the room, like did you study, this and that, all this other stuff. So me and my grandmother are trying to fight against it because there's just so much stuff that's going on that it's just like, it's too much to handle. We're trying to like nip this in the butt like right now. So then after that, we are like, okay, what's going on? So then we try to call her back like the next day to handle the situation, right? Her voicemail is full. She not even answering the phone. Who does that? So Miss Martha is, she's just, I don't know. Her voice. But yeah, she doesn't answer the phone, and it's just very weird to us and very odd. But it's just like she doesn't answer her voicemails. Like we're calling her voicemail is full. Like we've been calling her for days throughout June. Like it was crazy. We tried to get in touch with her as much as we could. We were just like very, very confused. So our grandmother, of course, she's just like, she's trying to get a hold. We try to call other people. They're not answering. They're saying like that we can't talk to her at the moment. Like, so then we go back to Salem High School, and we're like, we go back to the person that is the head of like making sure the SAT is in place. They have the right teachers. Everybody's assigned to their stuff. Like, the person that's in charge there, and she's also the counselor, one of the head counselors at Salem High School. And so then after that, we decide to go to her. We talk to her, and she's like, this is crazy. This is ridiculous. The fact that they're accusing you or something like that. They want to date, and these options are ridiculous. And we're just like, yeah. So me and my grandma talking to her all about the situation. The lady is literally like baffled by what's coming out of her mouth and what we told her has been going on. So she decides to see if she can do anything to help and to intervene and to help us out, because she knows the truth, and she knows she has everything under control. So she calls her, and her voicemail is full, and the lady's like, this, I'm very unprofessional. How are you supposed to tell them to call you back and stuff like that? But you're not. She leaves a voicemail saying, please call her back. Come to find out, weeks later, that she never even called her back. It was just very weird. This whole thing was just very sketchy. So then after that, we're in the office with her, and she's like, I'll try to do as much as I can. And we ask her did they tell you anything? What happened? Did they call you about the situation? And they're like, no. She's like, no, they didn't at all. She's the only thing they called me about is that a book went missing. She said, and we were like, well, was it my book? And they was like, they didn't tell us whose book it was. They called us and said a book went missing. Do we have it? And they said they looked for it, and then there was no book missing. And then they never heard from them back. So me and my grandma sitting there interesting, okay. So it's just everything's rambling through our mind, and we're in June. It's been March, April, May, in June. It's 4 months done passed. March, April, May, June. Yeah, 4 months passed. So of course we're just sitting here what's gonna go on? What's happening? So the months pass, right? And we're in June, all this stuff is happening. We keep calling them. They finally answer the phone. She's still rude and stuff like that. So then we finally have to email her, and we end up getting a hold of somebody a little bit higher her, and she finally starts answering the phone back. And we have to send this long paragraph of everything that went on, the book that I test with, stuff like that. So we sent in everything, everything that happened in the classroom from when I walked in, every little detail, what type of clothes I had on, everything. So it happens, and we send it in, and we're just okay, we have to wait. They tell us to wait another week. When I tell you they have told us 6 weeks, 2 weeks, 1 week, they have told us back to back to back. Me and my grandmother are tired at this point. And, of course, I've had moments during this where I wanted to give up, but I have to keep rolling on with the punches and keep pushing on, because that's the best thing to do versus me just giving up or getting mad about it. And I've been trying to stay calm through the whole situation. So, and at this point, I also didn't tell any of my friends about this. I was really keeping it to myself. I didn't feel like anybody needed to know, not even anybody in my family members, me and my grandmother only, and we just kept it. So anyway, time passes by, and we're just so what's going on? And we finally get an email, and they say, oh, we're just gonna cancel your scores. We don't they just basically, they don't explain why they don't they don't agree with my story or anything that I told them. They just basically was just we're canceling your scores. We assume that you cheated. Isn't that ridiculous? That doesn't make no sense. So the time passes, but so then after that, we're just what? My grandmother is beyond it. She's so pissed. In my mind, I'm wow, I'm really about to have this snatched away from me. And it's just crazy. It just blows my mind. I worked so hard to get where I am and to be able to go to college and try to go to college, and then just to be snatched away from me because of these people. I've also contacted Columbus during that whole process. I was contacting Columbus because I was trying to explain to them what was going on, and they just said they couldn't do anything because they needed it. They needed the scores requirement. They can't give me special treatment just because another kid, just because I'm 1 point off. They have to do it for everybody then. So I understand. As I was saying, everything felt like it was crumbling around me, and I just had to keep pushing forward because I knew I couldn't give up. I have to make sure I gave it my all, and I did everything that I could. And so then after that, we're in July. Like, we're literally in July now. Like, time is passing by. Like, it doesn't seem like it the way I'm telling this story, but like time is passing by. Like, and all those extra weeks and waiting really added up and really made, like, they really dragged it out. So my grandma called them plenty of times, like angry, but like didn't go off because we didn't want to be the stereotypical black people and them trying to turn it around on us and then be like, they went off on us, and we didn't want that. So after that, we were just like, we got to play it smart because these people are smart too because they knew what they were doing and they were trying to, and a lot of stuff they kept trying to play dumb. So anyway, so my grandmother finally, like, she gets a hold of them. She gets a hold of her bosses. Number, and my grandmother calls him and he says, hey, how can we help you? We're so sorry this is happening, but like this is what this is what's going on. And my grandmother's just like, I want to know the scores, this and that. My score this time was 1,230. And he finally answers, so he tells us like, this is a problem. My grandma's like, I don't want to hear that. I need to figure out what his score is, how we're going to get this to be able to release his scores. So at this point, we're just like, we can't take any bullcrap. Like, we're not doing this anymore. We're not going to play the little, run and chase and, y'all go hide and we try to find you. No, we can't do that no more. So my grandma gets him to say straight to the point. He says my score is 1,230. And that's what I got this time. And if you split it up, they're both higher than what I got last time. Last time I got like a 900 something. It wasn't that great, but it was still something. And this time my score went to 1,230. But that's because I studied. So what do you expect? I'm smart. I'm not dumb. I'm an educated black man. Yeah. Let's get mad about it. But no, we just are just like, we were just talking to him and he's just like, my grandma's so like shook that my score is that high. She's just like, really? And she's like, wow. She's like, oh no, like at this point my grandma heard that. She even said to herself, we're not letting this go. If your score is that high and you got that good of a score this time, no. And we're not going to retake the test. Like, we weren't going to do that because there's no point, because we didn't need to. Like, I'm not going to do this. On top of that, the possibility of me getting 6 points in the range of the other scores, like we had to get 6 points within like the other score. It's like, that's crazy. How would I do that? And on top of that, I haven't studied in months. Like I haven't prepared for it. So we're panicking and everything, and we're trying to figure out stuff what to do. And he says to us, if I retake the test, and if I get higher on this test, he'll let me keep it. But if I get higher on the test that they questioned, they'll let me use that too. So therefore, I'm just like, okay, so let me and my grandma like thinking it out. We're just like, we don't know yet. Like, we're like really like sketched out about it. So we're trying to figure it out. And like everything is just like, very sketchy at this point. So we're just like, whoa. So we're like trying to think of other ideas. Like, what can we do to get around this? Like, what can we do? And I call Columbus. Columbus tells me that they have an ACT residual. For some reason, I don't know why. I love Columbus and I love y'all, but like, Columbus should have been told me that, and they were like, we have specially made tests that you can make, you can do here. And I'm like, why did you tell me this months ago? So of course, I'm just like, okay, so what am I gonna do? Like, so they tell me like, oh, we have an ACT residual coming up. Like, try to take it and see what you get. And I'm like, how many days do I have? 3 days. 3 days to study for an ACT. It takes people sometimes years, months, just like me. You know what I mean? And I'm to make it 17 and both reading and math. So therefore, I take the test like just hoping and praying to God. Like, I didn't know what the test was like, but I heard it was easier. So I took it this time, and my scores, I think I got like a 15 and a 16. But I didn't, anyway it goes, I didn't end up passing. So so anyway, I was just like, what am I gonna do now? Like, me and my grandma are freaking out. Like, it's in the middle of like July. Like, so I called Columbus about the situation, and they're just like, we don't know what to do. Like, try to really speak out with them. So me and my grandmother are trying to figure out, we're trying to take legal actions. Like, it's So then after that, like me, after we took the ACT residual and stuff, we're like, okay, what are we gonna do? So we're just like, okay, we're gonna call him back, and like he doesn't answer the phone at all. So I sent him this long email, just letting him have it, saying you're not gonna disrespect me, like you're not gonna talk to me crazy, like you're not gonna do this, you're not gonna do that. And I'm just like, you know what? Like, and I'm just like, I'm an African American teen that's just trying to make it out here, and you're trying to snatch away my dreams, and I'm not here for it. And I wasn't. I'm not here for it. Like, I think this is like the most ridiculous thing I've ever went through in my life. So anyway, cause I sent him the email because he wasn't answering. So finally, somebody calls me, which is Miss Evans. The reason I haven't been talking to Miss Evans is because she's rude. Her voicemail is full, and she does not know how to answer the phone. So after that, we are just sitting there like confused and stuff like that, and I just don't know what to do. So somebody calls me back, which is Miss Evans, and she says, "Oh, what do you want, Teron?" I'm like, that's literally what she says. That's the first thing she says when I answer the phone. And I'm like, I need my test scores. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I just don't agree with it. And so then she's just like, well, you're going to get an email. The email's the same email she sent. These are the options of what you can do, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, we don't want to do that. So me and my grandmother finally think about it. And we're like, okay, let's just retake the test. It's close to almost August, actually. I think it is almost, it's August. So we're just like, we should retake the test. But we are like, but we want to talk to the man first about like the whole situation, try to get under control. And also my uncle works for something very important. I can't really say, but he works for something important like with the government and stuff like that. And so I try to get my uncle involved to help me because I'm not with that bullcrap. Like we got resources over here in in my family. So then after that, we're just like, okay, so we try to call him, and also my grandmother told him, he was like, he also told my grandmother like, tell Teron to call me, we can try to get this handled and situated. So I try to call him and everything, and he doesn't answer at first. Then I call him again, and he's like, hello? I say, hello, this is Teron Hamid. He says, hello, 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 hangs up. What? So then I call again, he does the same thing again. I thought it was me. I call from my grandmother's phone. He doesn't answer. My uncle calls him the next day and says, oh, this is blah, 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 blah. Can I speak with so-and-so? And he says, hello, 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 and hangs up. My uncle, he does it 2 times to my uncle. The same thing. We're tired at this point. Like, I just don't get it. So, anyway, so that like, I'm like, okay, I'm going to retake the test. I talked to the lady and everything, and she's like, okay, the time's come to take the test. I retake this test just to get out the way and see if I can get my scores back. Sorry, it was a fly. But I'll retake the test to see, But anyway, it's time for me to retake the test. I retake the test, and this time it's harder than ever. Like, the questions are not like it usually is on the SAT. For the reading portion, like, the stories are crazy. The mathematical problems that you say you don't need a calculator for, you need a calculator for. And on top of that, I barely had time to study to be able to even do this. You know what I mean? So I take it, and I'm just like, whatever, it doesn't really matter, because the guy said that no matter what score I get, the highest score I get, I'll still be able to use like the highest one. So I do it and everything, and I wait. He told me like it should be like around 4 days, stuff like that. 4 days pass, my test scores are not released. So I'm like, okay, what's going on? And like they haven't contacted me, anything. She's like, I call Miss Evans. She's like, you can wait, blah 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 blah, this and that, all this other stuff. And I'm just like, okay. She's like, I don't know who told you 4 days. I was like, your boss did. She's like, well, that's not true. Da, da, da. I'm like, okay, what's going on? They're just sketchy. So then after that, I'm just like, all right, so let's figure out what's about to happen. So let's wait a couple of days. And I really don't get nothing till next week. But saying that the test was just extremely hard. It was way harder than it should have been. I felt like that it wasn't an original test. Like it was a special made test, and I feel like it was a setup. Anyway, I just didn't care. So I call back and literally I call the late what's it called? I do it and I have to my bad, no. Anyway, so I wait a week, and I wait a week for my test basically to get released for my email to confirmation because I kept calling her and she had an attitude I was calling her, so I just stopped and let her wait till she calls me. We're in August, by the way. And she literally sent me an email saying that recancel your scores. You didn't match up to the 6-point range. I'm like, what are you talking about 6-point range? So I called Columbus and I basically like let everything out to this lady, and she was super sweet, and I told her everything about it, and I like cried on the phone to her because in that moment of everything happening and that email and everything, and at the point, it's at the end of the summer, everybody keeps asking me like what's my move-in date, and I just like, I don't know, I just didn't want to tell anybody about it, but like it came to a point where I just like it was like at this point I'm kind of like not giving up, but like it was no other place. And like what the lady told me, she thinks it's best if I take a year in a community college and get my credits together, then transfer to Columbus and everything. And I thought that was a very smart idea because the deadline for Columbus and stuff is basically kind of over. So surprise to most of my family members, like I'm not going to Columbus, and like I'm transferring and I'm still going to pursue it and everything, but like, it does suck a lot because I really wanted to go to Columbus. I really wanted to be with my friends so bad and be able to do shows and stuff like that, and for that to be pulled away and yanked away from me, like ripped a part of my heart out because I don't know, I was just like had my like goals and stuff set, and then like everybody really like was rooting for me, and like I felt like I disappointed them, but I really didn't disappoint them because it's not my fault. But like I tried everything that I can this summer, and of course I try to make this quick because if I really said every single detail, this video would be like 3 hours long. But it's just a lot that happened, and these people are so evil and so mean and so rude and could care less about my life and could care less about what's right, and they just want to keep a job, that they'll do whatever they want and don't give a crap about it. And they just like, it's just so unprofessional. And because of that, I'm not going to Columbus my first year. That's supposed to be my first year of college. And I just want to say that I thank you to a couple of people that actually did know a little bit, which is just like really like my closest friends. I like slowly let them know, like they had my back and like rooted for me, and like they'll be like Devin, Cleo, Amanda, Manny, Radon, AJ, Gabby, and my other friends don't know. And this is not like me like, oh, they got to know because they're special. It was just they kind of asked me and I kind of just told them, and like but they didn't know until later too. Like most of them didn't know until later. The only person I really knew was like AJ. She was like my first friend to know. But like it just was a lot going on, and I just really want everybody to know that I'm gonna keep pushing on, and I'm going to keep pursuing musical theater, of course. I'm not giving up. I'm just taking a year to do regular stuff, but it's okay because I'm gonna get my basic like classes out the way, and like next year I'll be fine and stuff like that. But yeah, I just want to thank all my friends because at the same time, if it wasn't for my friends this summer, like pushing me through, helping me, and being like super sweet and like making me happy, I don't think I would have been able to go throughout this process and this crazy journey this summer without them. And I love them so dearly. Not even the friends I just told the secrets to, but like the people that I have been with this summer. But like they made a huge impact on my life and just kept me pushing and kept going to fight for this little thing. And even though I didn't get what I accomplished, it doesn't mean you give up, because if that was the case, there's a lot of stuff and a lot of things I would be in right now if I just gave up. Like I wouldn't be where I am and be the person that I am if I just gave up most of the stuff. But everybody knows me. I'm a fighter. And even though it's funny because every good thing that does happen to me gets snatched away sometimes. But like, but at this point I have learned to roll with the punches. Like I'm 20 years old now. Like, you got to do what you got to do. And you gotta be able to mature and keep pushing on. And yes, I cried about it, and I probably seem so like regular right now, but like I can promise you, I bawled my eyes out so many times this summer without anybody knowing. But that was just that was my relief, and that's just me. But like that's my story. So for the rest of this year, I will be going to community college to be able to get my regular credits up, and then transfer to Columbus to be able to be a musical theater major. It's not the end of me, and it's nothing stopping me. I'm still gonna be happy, and I hope everybody understood this story and everything. But like, that's it. But that's it. So make sure y'all like, subscribe, and comment because I need it. Please make sure you share this video. Please make sure you be on the lookout for other videos. Press that notification bell so you know when I post another video. And any other videos that y'all do want me to do, please just put them down in the comments below, which y'all like me to do next. But that's it. Bye.